Hey, good morning. Saturday here, June 16th. Back here at I guess you could call it the Zuni Waffle Test Garden, and I'm just admiring these tomatoes and how large they are. They're about up to my knee, and each stalk or stem is about as thick as my finger. So they're getting really big, and on top of that, I'm not quite sure if I can find it here with the camera, but they have flowers. You can see them right there in the middle. Those bell-looking things are flowers. Those are going to be tomatoes in the future. It's a lot easier to see over here on this one because they're yellow. Right there. However, at this stage, I'm actually going to come in here and nip the buds off, nip the flowers off, much like I'm doing with the potatoes in the large field. I want all the energy right now to go to the growth of the plant. In the potatoes, it's the growth of potatoes, but now, the tomatoes, since they're newer plants, I need them to get taller and bigger. So I'm going in here, and I'm going to prune/nip all the flowers. So all I do is I go in here, snip. There we go. And now I actually just kind of like toss it at the bottom because it comes mulch essentially. And there's a couple other sets in here. And that's what I'm doing this morning for the moment, is pruning these up. Also, if the wind dies down, it's not too bad, but it's coming in bursts. I need to see about filling these empty trenches that I have prepped and ready. Another, 20 feet of planting area. So just need to figure out how to mix all that soil up and get that in there. This garden's moving right along. Something else I'm really excited about in the Zuni Waffle Garden over by the nursery is the irrigation for it. I used to hook up this, have a hose coming to it from a pump. It was powered by the tractor, which was drawing the water from a big tote or another water source or whatever. But I found that because the tote is so much higher than the rest of the garden, it acts as a tiny amount of gravity pressure, essentially. And because there's so much water being pushed through the drip tube, I don't even need a pump. And so I can just turn the lever and irrigate now. And not only does that work for this garden, it works for the big field too. Especially more so because in the field's case, the tote was in the truck. And so now I can irrigate all of my fields without the use of essentially diesel or any sort of electric pump at this point, at the scale that I have it at. If I continue to plant stuff on a downhill slope from here, which it is, it's pretty much nothing but downhill slope that way. It's hard to tell from this angle, but that's probably like a 7-foot drop from there to here. So I got plenty of slope to deal with. Hooray for this. Irrigation is now a mindless chore. All I need to do now is get some sort of electric timer with batteries or solar powered or mechanical or whatever that shuts the water on and off when I need it to, and we'll be in business. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Minor improvements make a big difference, especially this one. I hate having to position the tractor and stuff and fiddle with all the fittings. Gravity is my friend. So this fitting drips, and I found a clever solution of just put the cat watering dish right in front of it. And lo and behold, it does attract the cats, and they know where to get their water. And I'm no longer just watering the desert. Small things.
Hey guys, I just want to make an update about the bunnies. So all 3 adults are fine. And then those 3 little bunnies that survived the snake attack are right there. Of course, they were just just hopping around. And as soon as I pull out the camera, they stop. But they are fine, all 3 of them. And I don't know what sex they are yet. But I just wanted to show you guys the little survivors. Look at the little spotted one with its eyes open, laying on top of the other 2. I tried to stick my hand in there to grab them, but they're too far back in the cage, so this is gonna have to do. Just adorable baby bunnies. A white, a black, and a spotted one. Aren't they adorable?
And that's a way to sleep. Alright, you're currently looking at an infested tree sapling. I'm trying to grow this tree from the Arbor Day flowering pack. It's in a 5-gallon bucket. You see those black egg-shaped things on the left there? They're eggs. Don't know what they're from, but they're attracting a swarm of baby red ants. The red ants are mostly around the stem, but I got one of them in the center leaf there, if you can see it, and there's going to be one passing on the left leaf there. They are all harvesting the eggs from the tree. Saves me the job. I'll hit it with neem oil, and we should be good to go. Thanks, red ants. The nursery's still going strong in here. These are well overdue for a transplant, but the catnip's doing amazingly. And if we go into the next one, that's lavender. Both of these are going to be herb bush plants that I need to get outside and are going to be perennials that I'll be harvesting for months and months, years and years if all goes well. Have some Brussels sprouts going here in the first flat, zucchini in the second. It's going to be this one here. None of the others did anything, so I went ahead and put some peas in also. And this is my squash, which I've already transplanted 2 of them out there. One of them out there. And the rest didn't do much. So I also put some peas in here in hopes that they'll do something. Pretty low germination rate, I'm not sure why. Possibly the wrong seed soil depth on my part. These are native grasses, and I transplanted them. They're about this big. They're doing great and getting really bushy. I'm seeing if I can possibly use this as some form of kind of like a treat bucket for my chickens, where they can just have this surrounded by a little fence, and they, as it pokes through and grows, they just sit there eating it, you know, something like that. And it's doing really good. Here we have some edible flowers. And honestly, the rest of these vegetables, I couldn't even tell you. If anyone knows, feel free to chime in. I just put a ton of seeds in here, didn't label anything, and said, I guess I'll transplant when they get up big enough. Here's some more plants. And even more of them. Shoot, they could even all be flowers for all I know. That's what I get for not labeling anything. Bad habit. That is about it for the nursery. The last side of the nursery is going to be over here. This will be the south-facing side of the nursery. It gets the most sun. Most of these beans died when I went on vacation. Forgot to tell my neighbor to water the nursery. Killed off most of them. However, 3 of them lived and are doing great. You can see the leaves are bouncing back bright green here. They're even starting to put more lush growth off in the tip here. Right here, we have a mini pea pod popping up, 2 of them. So this one took a really healthy root system that had a really long stalk on it and is putting it into this tiny bush now. So we'll see how that goes. I did the same with this pea and that's doing great. Over here I have tons more edible flowers. You see the same like kind of lily pad looking one. And then over there, random vegetables that, when I left the window open of the nursery, a cat came in here, knocked the entire thing over. I picked up what I could, but I don't really know if these are going to make it. We'll see what I can transplant and get out of it. Lots of carrots and stuff. I don't eat many carrots anyways. Alright, you're looking at the first ever Morton's Farm seed harvest. Product of 4 neglected pea plants that I watered hardly ever, never transplanted into the soil, and that only lived in 4-inch square pots. Well, they went all the way through their life cycle. They produced pods, they dried up, and they produced seeds. I got about half a seeds packet worth of peas out of it. Not bad for just doing nothing, really. I actually planted a few of these in the soil, and we'll see if they do anything. Maybe they'll be more drought resistant because I forgot to water them so often. Happy to report that after we built this box here, after the coyote attack, all the remaining of the flock still live. The coyotes haven't figured out how to dig through straight wood yet. They're loving it. They go in there at night by themselves, and they're also starting to lay eggs in there and sit on them. So they've completely adopted the chicken cube as their own, which is excellent, and I'm happy for it.